A lot of people are already calling the Switch 2 Nintendo's most boring console ever, and that might actually be a good thing. This is the first number 2 console the company has ever made. They followed up the NES with Super NES, Game Boy with Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, DS with 3DS, the Wii with the Wii U. This has also been the most leaked Nintendo hardware ever. We've seen plenty of CAD files, real-life images and teardowns, even 3D printed models. Nintendo officially announced the console on January 16th with a 2-minute and 21-second long video, focused on hardware like most of the leaks did. There's nothing new in terms of specs or software except for possibly a new Mario Kart game, but there are still a few surprises up Nintendo's sleeve. I repeat, this console is boring, but I'm very glad it's just a refinement and not a complete rework or attempt at revolution. They're playing it safe, but I don't think anyone expected anything different or wanted them to do anything different. It has a bigger screen and Joycons, new redesigned stand, and an extra USB-C port on top that will make it easier to use while charging. Speaking of the new Joycons, they're larger, which should make them more comfortable to hold, with bigger joysticks and buttons, and an extra new mysterious C button. People are saying it could be a community button, a chat button, a camera button, a cast button to send your gameplay to the big screen when using it in handheld mode. One fun rumor I like is it could even be a mini trackpad like on the Lenovo Legion Go S. The new Joy-Cons feature a magnetic attachment which looks smooth. Apparently the old ones were finicky, but I never had any problems. Both Joy-Cons might have IR sensors. A lot of people say they're gone completely, while Linus seems to think they're on both now instead of just on the right one. People are also speculating they have a new optical sensor on both for a mouse mode. There's even a short clip of the Joy-Cons running around on the table with their lanyards trailing behind them like mouse tails. This video from Nintendo gave credibility to leakers who showed us CAD drawings and mockups, so maybe it means we can believe them more when it comes to the actual specs of the device. The processor is rumored to be a semi-custom 5nm variant, the NVIDIA Tegra T239, which will feature an 8-core CPU, 12GB of LPDDR5 memory, 256GB of UFS 3.1 flash storage, and will be able to use microSD express cards. Digital Foundry did a gameplay prediction based on the T239 SoC, and said it will have base PS4 graphics performance, augmented with modern GPU features and solid ray tracing support. I'd also expect NVIDIA DLSS to be doing a lot of heavy lifting, which performance-wise isn't groundbreaking for a home console, but for a handheld, a Nintendo handheld console is pretty great. They also had a note on backwards compatibility. Great news, you can play your old Switch games both physically and digitally. They did specifically say certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible, but most people think that just means games like Labo with original Switch attachments obviously aren't compatible. The only game shown is possibly a new Mario Kart, with support for 24 racers. Possibly. Everyone is upset about the new look of Donkey Kong, which seems to be based off of how he looked in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. What do you think of the new design? As far as games we could expect, a new Pokemon Legends and Xenoblade are scheduled for this year. Metroid Prime 4 is also supposed to come out this year. It's been 8 years since the last 3D Mario game, and this year is the 40th anniversary of Mario, so we'll probably get a new Mario game too. Halo the Master Chief Collection is coming to the Nintendo Switch consoles. Possibly more Xbox games franchises like Gears of War could be coming too. One big question around the console is, will it be another historic success? It isn't a groundbreaking new game in concept, so probably not as big of a huge spike as when the original Switch first came out. Many people bought multiple Switches for their household. The original, the Lite for kids, the OLED when it came out, so it won't be selling all those right off the jump. Games will probably be released cross-generation, so people won't be forced to buy the new console to play new games. Also, there weren't any other gaming handhelds when the first Switch came out, like the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion, to name a few, which can all run emulated Switch games better than the original Switch. Not that I support that or do that myself, so there is a lot more competition in the handheld gaming landscape right now for the Switch 2. By the way, the original Switch sold 146 million units. Yes, a bit inflated with the Switch Lite and OLED, but it still makes it the third best-selling console of all time, behind the PS2 and Nintendo DS. So the Switch 2 has huge shoes to fill. but that's part of why this is a Switch 2 and not some brand new wacky console or title. If you're someone who liked the original Switch, and there's a lot of those people, Nintendo is telling you this is more of the same, but bigger and better. Some questions I still have after their video: does it have an OLED? Probably not. The leakers are saying it will be an LCD like the original Switch, but I can still hope and dream for OLED at launch. The dock. People were speculating it could have an eGPU to boost performance. That would be a great feature. I'm not sure how much I believe it though. Also, how much will it cost? The Switch Lite sells for $200. The base Switch sells for $300. The Switch OLED sells for $350 USD. Rumors are pointing to $400 USD for the Switch 2. Now, there will be a Nintendo Direct on April 2nd. There will be hands-on experiences around the world starting just after the Direct. So we'll be getting more information about the console soonish. Make sure you subscribe for more Switch 2 content. And if you're interested in my predictions from before the announcement, you can watch that here. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.